Awesome. So it's recording now, guys. Right. Awesome. Thank you guys for being here. And we are going to get started. So like I said, Ivy is my name for those that do not know me. Myself, Steph and Mike, we're going to be going over HFX. For those who don't know what it is or have heard, I've seen people doing it and, you know, the hype that's on it at the moment. So myself, I've actually been doing it a little bit over a month now. Not very long, but it's been an exciting journey. Like myself, I really enjoy it, and I think everyone else is going to speak on for themselves. I kind of got introduced by Leon, and then prior to that, I'd actually heard it from Brandon Boyd, one of the chairman 50. So I got excited. I was interested why he was actually doing it, and I got involved. And just going through it, guys, it's very interesting. It's a simpler kind of trading style. So of course, for kind of people who are new into this world of industry of trading can actually grasp it a little bit quicker, I would say. Again, there's a lot more to it in terms of discipline, in terms of, risk management, a lot of other factors that actually come into play with trading. So of course, as easy as I might say it sounds, it's not that easy. There's a lot of other things that you have to put into play. So I had a little just breakdown of what HFX is, and I'm going to share that with you guys. And then Mike and Steph are going to go over the strategies. There's so many strategies we have in IM. So of course, we're just going to touch on a little bit. I know most of you that are here actually aren't trading HFX, so haven't really started, so you don't know much about it. That's why I was going to share the intro part, and then the guys are going to touch on the different strategies that we have. All right, so with that said, I'm going to share my screen. I had a little just breakdown of what HFX is. I can see messages in the chat. Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, it's all good. We are recording now. All right, so can you all see my screen? If you can, type a 1, please. If you can see my screen, you can hear me properly. Awesome, 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 awesome. All right, guys, so let's break it down on what binary options is. So binary options, as you can see on my screen, it actually says it's a financial exotic where, the payoff is fixed. So what this means is if you're risking 10 bucks, the reward will equally be just the same, because of course you risk the $10. If you win the trade, of course you get your $10 back plus a percentage that the broker pays you off. So some brokers actually pay 80%. There's different all the different currencies have different payouts. So of course some brokers pay different to for the different currencies. So of course depending on the broker that you're using, of course, the payout will be different. So like with high-low is one of the brokers that we use. You kind of risk $10 if that's the minimum that you can risk. So if you risk $10, the payout is 80%. So you get like, $8, depending on the pair. Most pairs are about $8, $68, $99, around that, depending on the currency pairs. It's about 80-90% payout. So of course, if you risk $10, the $10 is what you are. It's set. You can't minimize your risk. You can't, of course you can maximize it, but with high-low, for example, our broker that we're using here in Australia is set. So you can't, you can't minimize your risk. Whereas other offshore brokers, you actually can do that. So you can actually do, your proper risk management, 1 to 3%. I'm just gonna, okay, I'm just gonna make someone a co-host just to mute guys that come on. Can't see everybody now. Where's everybody gone to? I'll just make you Steph a co-host. Okay, there we go. All right, I think we're good. I don't know where everybody's disappeared. I can't see your faces, but doesn't matter. Steph, I think I made you co-host anyway. All right, moving forward, guys. There's two main types of binary options. It's either cash or nothing. Binary option and the asset, or nothing binary option. So of course, like in binary options, we trade currency pairs. So we trade normal currency pairs, Forex pairs, and also you can trade indices as well. So these, can be gold, can be whatever. It depends also on the broker. So like, for example, the broker that we use in Australia is very limiting in terms of some of the currencies that you can trade and some of the actually indices that you can trade as well. So depending on your broker, you have the option obviously to choose what you want to trade. Now, I just read some keynotes that obviously out of my experience that I'd love to share with you guys so you can understand. So some keynotes, you know, HFX is actually very easy. For someone who has actually traded before, it's very easy to follow. The rules that the strategies that we actually use are so simple, very straightforward. All you need to do is really rinse and repeat over and over again. But then if you come with the mentality that it's so easy, you're not going to value it so much. So obviously value the education. There's a lot of content that these educators have put across, but once you actually go through the content, the academy, you'll grasp everything. You know, risk management is the same as Forex, 1 to 3%. Of course, depending on the broker that you're using, you will be able to use 1 to 3%. High low is a bit limiting in terms of high low. The minimum is $50, so you can deposit $50. But again, the minimum risk and is $10. You cannot risk less than $10. So of course, if you have a $50 account, you're definitely not using proper risk management. That's the only disadvantage with now high low. Whereas other offshore brokers, of course, you can risk even $1, you can risk $2, you can, you know, do proper risk management. But again, Australia, there's only that high low broker is the only broker that was actually able to find that could actually, you know, that was regulated and a registered official broker that anyone can use. Now, with obviously the offshore brokers, there's a lot that are actually out there. Some of them educators kind of hint, they're not supposed to recommend, but we've obviously learned from, you know, watching the strategies, there's a lot of them that they actually recommend. Well, not necessarily, I mean, I couldn't say recommend. Some, you know, like Dale Woods, who's one of the new educators, was recommending some, but obviously you guys know that IM does not recommend brokers because of course we are not affiliated with any broker. So it's not our responsibility. It's your responsibility to do your own due diligence on whichever broker you want to use. But I'm going to just go through them briefly. Now, all the brokers, I think all of them actually give a bonus. So a bonus is with high low, for example, you invest $50, they give you a $50 cash back. So of course, you know, once you've obviously used that $50 cash back, of course, now then, you know, if you make profit, kudos, because of course the 50 comes to you. If you lose, it's deducted out of that 50 bonus. Then of course, once you're out with that $50, then of course you start using your own money, which is kind of good with high low. Of course, being that you're actually able to just start with a minimum of $50, I think it's pretty awesome. But again, like I said, your risk is higher, is a lot higher because you're not doing, obviously you're doing, you know, more than the 1 to 3% of your capital. Again, understanding with HFX as well, you know, before you get into a trade, like I said, the risk is set, and of course the payout will be dependable on, you know, of course your broker and what they're paying out on that specific currency that you're actually risking. One thing I love about HFX as well, you know, it will help you get over your emotions quicker. You guys hear this all the time, that to become a good trader, you have to detach to the emotions of money. A lot of the times people struggle with Forex is because we're so attached to the outcome of the money. And if you lose $2, you're like, oh my God, you know, you're almost having a heart attack. Now with HFX, your money is automatically deducted out of your account. So if you enter a trade, so if you're saying that, you know, I'm actually getting into Euro USD and I'm saying that the price is going to close at this point. So with HFX as well, guys, you know, we're actually buying and selling, but in HFX, they call it call and put. So call is a buy and a put is a sell. Now, you're actually saying the price will close at a certain point, and so you're waiting for price. So if you enter a call, you're saying the price is going to close at this high point, and if you're calling, saying a put, you're saying the price will close below this the point that you've actually entered the market at. So of course, if you win, you know, price goes in your direction and closes below that area, kudos. Of course, you win the money. I mean, you win the trade, and the money goes into your account. And like I was saying about the money motion, so if you're risking $10. If you have $100, it's already automatically deducted out of your account the moment you actually get into that trade. So your money detachment is already, by the time you even realize, the money's out of your account. So you're not even going to worry about it, wondering what the outcome is. Of course, if you win, great, because then of course you get your $10 back plus the payout that the broker is giving you. Of course, if you lose, the $10 is already out of your account by the time you actually execute it to get into that trade. Now, some of the brokers as well that I'm just going to mute someone. Some of the brokers that just in a nutshell, just some of the ones that we've here said, I'm not recommending any. I'll only talk about a high low because that's all the one I use. these are some of the ones that obviously we've seen that the educators actually go over. VidForex, IQSend, Race Option, Nadex is actually a regulated broker in America, and IQ Options. And these are not the only ones. There's so many brokers. Now, where these brokers are, I actually do not know where they are. So it's important that you actually do your own due diligence. It's crucial. Now, some of them actually have set up an account myself with VidForex. Now, I then found out that they told me that the minimum was 500 US. So actually, I'd started off, I think there was just some misinformation on the website at the beginning when I started to, get into it. And of course, I haven't pursued it because I didn't deposit the 500. Then that's when I started looking for an Australian broker, and I found Hilo. So please do your own due diligence. Of course, there's a lot of out there. These are the strategies that are in IM right now that the educators are teaching. And like I said, Mike and Steph are going to break down some of the strategies, not all of them, like the ones we use. So Castrop, Hourglass, Matthew Thayer, he's a beast of a trader. He's a beast of, he's only been trading for, I think, about less than 2 years, I think. And he grew a $500 account to 1.2 million, or I think right now it's probably 2 million, like to something crazy in a span of, I think, 24 months or less, or 22 months or something like that. So again, these guys are geniuses. They absolutely know their craft. They know what they're doing. Nez Viquez has been trading a lot longer. I think he's actually the founder of kind of the master of HFX, really, according to just even watching the HFX Academy. He's done all the HFX videos, as well as another guy called Ivan Cabral. So of course, these are the major, educators that are teaching in HFX. Now we have live trading that is offered as well. Live trading is actually from Tuesday to Friday with different educators. Sometimes we have back to back. So from 11, so like from Wednesday, we have back to back. I think I'm pretty sure Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we have back to back from 11 to 1. So we have live trading with that. This is in Australian time. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure what time it is in the UK. You'd have to, it's obviously early hours of the morning. It's definitely wee hours of the morning. You kind of have to work it out. Now, I'm going to touch on Brandon Boyd and Josh Lee. Now, Brandon Boyd actually offer a course that's without you having the HFX package, you can actually start off and learn a little bit about HFX. This is where I actually started from myself, and they're very helpful. They're very, very insightful. And it's, they talk about, support and resistance, all the stuff that you actually know. I would actually encourage you guys to join it. There's a Facebook page as well that you guys can join if you're really interested in doing HFX. And now from that Facebook page, that Facebook page is actually for everybody, not excluding, whether in IM or not, is actually an international page for everybody. You can start off from there. Of course, do the courses. They're actually linked. He puts them in like a Zoom link, but they're actually linked into Go Live. So you can actually access them without having HFX. And then, of course, from there, you can decide whether you want to get an add-on HFX package or switch your whole account into HFX, of course, if you want to go all in with HFX. Moving on, of course, just very, very briefly, I'm not going to touch. This is just really basic about trading. Of course, with HFX, it's just like normal trading. We trade in the trend, we trade in consolidating markets. Of course, we have strategies that, you can actually look into a trending market and a consolidating market, and you can actually trade. Now, of course, simple strategy, like as we know, buy low, sell high. Same principle is what we use in HFX. Of course, if you're in a trending market, if it's an upward trending market, of course, you're going to be looking for buys. Downward trending market, you're going to be looking for sells. If it's in a consolidating market, the good thing with HFX, we are trading in shorter time frames. So we don't trade in long time frames. It's 3 minutes, 1 minute. I wouldn't say 30 seconds. I have tried it. It didn't work for me, but most educators just trade 1 minute, 1 minute to 5 minutes maximum, of course, and 15 minutes if you're still, like Nez will trade in analyze in a 5 minute, but trade on a 15-minute time frame just to allow you more time. But either way, they're all short time frames. Now, like I said at the beginning, when you enter a trade, a call is for buy. Technically, I wouldn't say buy because, again, you may confuse it with like blue candles, because with HFX, like the cash drop strategy, you know, sometimes we will just look for an arrow. We're just looking for a certain arrow in that strategy. And I know Mike or Steph will go over that. And if you're looking for that arrow, sometimes it doesn't have to be a blue or red candle. The arrow is what tells you when to execute. So if you're going to use, you know, like we do in normal Forex, you know, buy and sell, or a blue and a red candle, you can get a bit confused. So just stick to a call and a put, which means, you know, a call, you're going up, a put, you know, you're saying price will close below a certain area. And just a brief chat. This is actually information that Brandon Boyd really goes over really well with Josh Lee. Now, Josh Lee is actually a doctor who actually retired and actually trades full time, and he breaks it down so well. So I encourage you guys to really just look into that course. You know, here you say a put. So if you're selling, you're gonna catch. You can see we can trade in consolidating markets, and we're really catching three candles only. So we don't have to be in the market all the time. We only just, you know, catching 3 candles. If you took this trade up here, so you know you're buying, you're selling when it's high. Remember, buy low, sell high. So put is a sell. 3 candles, you know, 1, 2, 3. You would have been in profit because price closed below where you entered from. Same thing if you're buying, you know, 3 candles. We only look for 3 candles expiration. So meaning that if you're actually trading in analyzing in a 5-minute chart, you're gonna trade 3 candles, which will be a 15-minute chart. Or you can actually do a 1-minute candle, so 1-minute chart. So 1-minute time frame means you're only really looking for one, you know, a very short time frame. So, you know, if the candle goes in your direction, you entered here and price closed above, you know, where you entered, you win the trade. So we don't have to be in the market for so long. This is a consolidating market. And then of course, this is a trending market. This is a downtrending market. So of course, if it's a downtrending market, your goal is to look for, you know, puts, because of course sales, I'll just say sales to help you understand. You're going to be looking for sales in a downtrending market, and of course in an uptrending market you're going to be looking for buys. And last but not least, before I hand it over to the guys, you know, HFX, I'm going to just say a disclaimer because, you know, this is a different beast. Guys, understand that this thing may be easy, but it is a different beast. You know, you may come with the mentality thinking that, you know, it's easy. I can, you know, I can make money quick. I can, you know, get rich tomorrow. That's not the mindset. You have to come with a lot of these educators as well talk about compounding. Compounding is key. Of course, you know, make your 5%, have that discipline, settle and out. We've learned from our mistakes. I've learned from some of the mistakes I've done. I've traded, like, you know, at the beginning, I was taking like, you know, a heck lot of trades because it's so easy. And because remember, you're only doing a shorter time frame. So you could be in the market for, you know, you can for an hour and actually end up taking like 60 trades, which you don't really need to. And that's what I did at the beginning. And which, again, remember, less is more. So you can actually do lesser trades, make your percentage. If you, of course, at the beginning, I didn't even have a percentage goal. I was just excited, you know, excited for the money, because if you're making money in minutes, who doesn't want to make money in minutes? And you can do whatever else you want to do after that. So with that said, guys, I'm going to hand it over to, I don't know if Steph or Mike is coming first. Whoever is coming first, take it away, guys. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Ivy. Awesome introduction, girl. Killed it. I just want to quickly, I'm going to go over the cash trap strategy for everyone, but I just want to quickly share the reason why I really love HFX so much is that personally, like, I've been trading for just over a year, and for me personally, like, I hate being in the market for such a long amount of time. For me, I just find that there's too many emotions going on because I'm looking at the trade. I'm like, oh, do I get in? Do I get out? Do I take my partials? Do I do this? Do I do that? And for me to be able to get in the market and get out of the market within minutes, like, there's no time to even process those sorts of emotions because they're unnecessary anyway. So binary doesn't even really give you the option. Like, as Ivy said, obviously you have to have a handle on your emotions. You can't over trade, you can't over leverage, all those sorts of things. But just the fact that you're in and out with the bag, that's just why I love it so much. Like, it's quick, it's easy. Yeah, it's super, super awesome. Let me share my screen and I'll run over Cash Trap.
Did Steph freeze? I think she froze.
Yeah,
Is everyone else here?
she's frozen.
Yeah, she's frozen.
If you want, just make me a co-host as well, and I'll get it going on what I was gonna do.
All right. You're good to go, Mike.
All right, cool. That was unexpected, but anyway, Steph can go after me. We've already sort of talked, and so there's a tool called Hourglass, which is an actual another add-on in IM. So you got like the HFX package, and the package includes access to Liberty. And then there's Hourglass, which is a separate one, and also Freedom, which is another one. And personally, I actually haven't downloaded, or should I say, bought like the Freedom package. So I don't actually know who goes over that. No idea. I just use Liberty and Hourglass, and it works really well. So I will share.
Sorry, guys, internet cut out. But yeah, Michael, you take it away.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Steph, jumped in.
Aussie Wi-Fi. Luke said.
Mine was jamming before too, so hopefully I'm good. But anyway. Have to go onto here, go into strategies. Oh wow.
Who's hosting the call? Is it Ivy?
Am I still here?
Yes.
Does it depend on your internet? This call's going.
I don't know.
Your call was always cut out.
Shut up.
Right, now I'm on go live. Hold on. We'll get there.
And you have got nothing to do with Mike's go live. Shut up.
Are you sure?
Oh, anyway, I'll actually say my as well why I'm doing HFX is pretty similar reasons. I want to actually get, say, Ivy, you did a really good intro there. I was very impressed with the slideshow and everything. That was very good. That was awesome. And same thing for me, really. I stare at the charts. And not look at it, not worry, go and do my thing. So that's what I sort of see for myself is that everyone wants time freedom, and I think this can really give you it. So HFX Academy, Liberty. So there's 3 different strategies for Liberty, which if you get the HFX package, if you go to Nez Viquez, I'm not sure how to say his last name, he goes over all of them really well. But also, if you don't have the package, you can go watch Brandon Boyd and Dr. Josh Lee's videos. And they tutorials on a few of these strategies as well. So you can go see that without the package. So first here we got the simple scalper. So basically the rules for this is that you need 4 confirmations at least to be able to take a trade. And it looks a bit of a interesting mess on there for people who aren't used to seeing indicators. But basically you've got the Bollinger Bands, you've got the red one here and the blue one here. And basically, I can't remember, what is it? Something Bollinger created that indicator, and basically I think it's 98% of the time, or something over 90% of the time, the candles are between the two bands. So if it's nearing the red one, then quite potentially soon it's going to sell off, and if it's nearing the blue one, quite potentially it's going to go up. So I'll just find an example here. Here we go. This is a little example right here, and I'll just get my little vertical lines. It's hit this Bollinger Band, it's come up, and then these little dots here, they're called parabolic dots. So they're one indicator. I wouldn't say maybe one of the most important ones, but they're one of the main 5 ones. And if the dot is on the top of the candle, that actually indicates it's sort of going in a downtrending movement. And if the dot is on the bottom, it indicates it's going in an uptrending movement. So if I was looking to sell here, or I'm using the wrong words because Ivy said you shouldn't say sell and buy. So we'll call it call and put. So if I'm looking for a put here, so it's near the red Bollinger Band, and as it crosses through, that is like one confirmation. And then if you look down here, is the line going down through, and you can see this here is stochastic. It's another indicator, and this is the RSI. I think they're slightly different than they would look on TradingView. It's something to do with how Nez has actually programmed the software and everything. So anyway, if it crosses down through this red line here on the stochastic, that is another confirmation. Same for when it crosses down here through the RSI. So this one actually, it's not the
Is it me or is he cutting out a lot?
No, he's cutting out heaps.
Oh, all right. Am I here still? Sorry.
You're still here, you're just cutting in and out.
Mikey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I reckon get the missus and you to stop sharing your video because it's probably taking up too much of your internet.
Oh yeah. I think she heard that. All right. Sorry guys.
No offense.
Anyway. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. So like I haven't done this sort of thing before. So anyway, let's just start again. So red Bollinger Band, we're crossing down. That's one confirmation. And we got the stochastic. It's cut through there. That's one confirmation, and cut through there. It's another confirmation. Also, if you look at the volume bar, this is called the volume bar, and you can take that away so it's a little bit easier to see. So basically, if it's blue, then that means it's got strength going up, and if it's red, it's got strength going down. By those go in for a put, and it's on 15-minute time frame now, so it works the same if you're on the 5-minute, and the rule is to go for 3 candles basically. So if you're on 15-minute chart, then you would want to place either a trade between 15 minutes to 45 minutes, or if you're on the 5-minute, then you would want to go 5 to 15 minutes. And my internet is annoying me right now because it's playing up.
You know why Aussie Wi-Fi is so shit? Because we're all trapped at home.
Maybe. This is frustrating. Sorry, guys. Not winning yet. All right, fine. finally. Okay, sorry guys. And on the right side here are basically signals sort of thing. They're basically signals. They trade ideas. They're not saying like, you know, you have to take them. It's sort of like a trade idea. And so it tells you sort of when it came out. So actually this one was an hour, 38 minutes ago. But when you click on it, it'll sort of load up the chart. Now I went through a sell, so we'll just look for a buy, and here's a perfect call, should I say. When I've explained this a couple more times, I'm sure I'll be a bit better at explaining it. But for those of you who know nothing at all, it's good to sort of get a little explanation. So here it's come down and it's touching the Bollinger Band and it's sort of bouncing off, started to bounce off in this next candle. So I should put these here. And you can see how it is crossing up through this blue band. Should I say blue line, and it's crossing up here through this blue line. So that's a confirmation, 1, 2, and 3 confirmations with the candle by the band. And also there is a dot under this candle, which means it's going in upward direction. So that would mean 4 confirmations. So that would be a safe trade to take. So if you put a call there, you go 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candles, then you would have got that trade. And with HFX, so like 1 pip is like 10 binary options points. So like Ivy said, when you're doing a call or a put, you're basically guessing the direction that it's going to go in and placing a trade on that. So, you know, like if we're just trading, you know, like Leon's strategy or Trade House or something like that, to get a nice trade, you're going to want to at least get what, like 50 pips or 60 pips or something like that to get like a nice decent profit. But with this, you can literally win the trade with 1 pipette. So it's really like really fine. It's really crazy. So that's, I guess, a little bit of a benefit. But this is the Simple Scalper, and I'll go over the Pickpocket now. I think Simple Scalper is pretty good. I personally myself use the Web Slinger, which I'll go over after this, and also the Cash Trap, which Steph's going to go over. I did actually try and load Pickpocket today, and it wasn't working. I don't know if anyone else has. Have you guys tried to load it? No. For some reason, Pickpocket wasn't working for me today. So sorry, we'll have to do that one another time. That one's actually a really simple one, but we'll go over the Web Slinger, which is really interesting. So this one, you can do 5, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. Predominantly, I do 5 minute and 15 minute, but when Nez teaches this, he seems to think that, and obviously I think he created this anyway, he says it works better on the 15-minute chart. It's stronger sort of probability. So basically, it looks like a bit of a mess again. These are all sort of just EMA like indicators. They're called web strings, so that's why it's called Web Slinger. And these are, they just call them clouds. So basically, the best confirmation for the Web Slinger is for the candles to cross through the web. So right here, the candles would come above the web and they've crossed through the web. And then as soon as they come through the web, you can execute a put. So it's on the 15-minute chart right now. So if you saw it come under here, then you'd want to put on maybe a 15 to 45-minute trade. So the 3 candle rule applies with this as well. So 1, 2, and 3, and you may have only gone 30 points down with that one, but that still would have been a clear. And same over, I'll just quickly find where's a good call one to show you? Here's a perfect one. So this is a very strong one. See, here how it's crossed up through the web, and then it's just gone up for a long time. So what's that? That's like 9. And you'd be in the clear by 60 points. Now that's the main best confirmation. Oh, I think I'm cutting out again because it says I'm unstable. That's the best confirmation, cutting through, but you can also get like technical re-entries from the green line here. So it's come up through, and you could have 1, 2, 3 taken that trade, and it's come down and it's come near this green line, and you could have re-entered there again for another call and taken it up again. So this is the web slinger strategy, and I will quickly go over maybe Steph will, I'm not too sure, but I'll quickly go over the broker that we're using if people want to look at it. So you can actually, so this is like highlow.net, and you get a quick demo. It's very, very quick actually to do that. A couple of clicks and you're there. And then you can just have a demo account and sort of have a go at it. So like Ivy was saying, all the brokers are different with their payouts of everything. Like each currency is like a different payout and that sort of thing. That's mostly on the American ones. Like on this one, on this broker, the payouts are different, but they're different for the different time frames. So you can see here the payout is 1.88 on a 15-minute trade. But if you go to Turbo, which is where it gets really interesting, on a 30-second trade, which is, you know, it's very fast, the payout is 1.95. So you're risking, like, it's a lot more risky because it's so quick. But the payout is 5-minute. I think there's seven different currencies. So that's where, as I was explaining, it's quite limited. There's only 7 different currencies on this broker that you can trade on these time frames. And also they don't use call and put for the terminology here. They use high and low, hence the name high-low broker. But yeah, so obviously I have no idea. I haven't done any analysis whatsoever. But if you there, $10, $20, $50, whatever you want, and push high and invest. And then if it's in the green, if it's a call, sorry, and it's green, then that means you're sort of good. And you can see it down here too, which means you're going to close in profit. And if it's a put or a low, then it will sort of be in red. So you can see here, that's actually looking like it might close.
I wish I took that.
Ching!
I wish I took that trade. Wow. Yo,
So,
my
$10
man making money right in front of our eyes.
Obviously, that was just pure luck because I haven't done any analysis or anything at all. But that's basically as simple as it is. And
You're an actual
what
girl.
I only discovered this last week actually. But when you go into 15-minute, when you go into 15-minute and with the hour and 1 day, there's actually a lot more currencies that you can trade, as you can see. And there's also one, what is it? There's gold. So on this broker, you can trade gold and then an extra 10 different currencies than like on the Turbo. What else? And there's also, I haven't played around with it, but there's high-low spread, which means you can literally, like, I think guess what like the spread's going to stay between or something. To be honest, I don't actually know about that. I haven't played around with that. But on the 15-minute and 1 hour trades, you can, so let's just go. My personal favorite is USD JPY. and you've actually got, see here, it's like a 15-minute trade, but there's actually only 3 minutes left. You could actually enter now if you really wanted to. Sorry, I'm on high-low spread. You could actually enter now if you really wanted to, but there's only 3 minutes left. So if you were looking at the web slinger, you're looking at the web slinger, and we're on 15-minute, and just say, obviously I don't know if there's a setup right now, but just say you've just crossed through here, crossed through the web strings, and then you want to enter this trade, and you want to do 15 minutes. Obviously that would have cleared really nicely. But you may have like been partway through a candle or something like that, and you only want to do 8 minutes or 9 minutes or something like that. There's actually going to be 3 different trades running for like the 15-minute category, if you know what I mean. It's a little bit like, sounds a bit confusing. Maybe I explained it a bit confusing, but anyway, so this one's got 12 minutes left, this one's got 7, and this one's got 2. So you've actually got a little bit more options depending on what time you sort of want to use. And Nez trades this way, and I've been practicing with it this week and a little bit last week, and it's been going quite good. But like on WebSlinger, if you feel like it's going to go in that direction, you can sort of take a trade, you know, enter, say, put your 1% on or something, and then the market, like, you know, does its little spikes and whatnot. So I would go onto my trading view and I would have it on the 1 minute or the 3 minute chart and sort of wait for it to sort of spike back up. So if I was going for a put, you know, and say I entered up here, and then when it spikes up again, maybe I'll put another entry, and then I'll put another entry. So you can put in like as many entries as you want, and then they're actually all going to finish at the same time. So like today, it you know, went well. I felt like it was going really well. I entered up to, I think it was like 5 or 6 positions on like 1 15-minute trade. They all closed out profit, and that was it. I was done for the day. So I've only been doing this for, you know, as long as Ivy has. That's when I sort of started explaining, but it's going pretty well so far. So I think I've just gone over those 2 strategies. I'm really sorry about this pickpocket, which maybe is it going to load now? Who knows? Maybe not. That's another very simple one too. It just involves a couple of indicators, which we can go over another time. Sorry about that. But basically, why is that like that? Am I still with you guys?
Yeah, you're still here. You're cutting out a little,
cool.
but you're good.
Yeah, I can feel that. I don't know if anyone can even see that for some reason. Dear gosh. So here's a little compounding little template I put together. I'm not a sheets wizard, so the only formula is actually the date. But I can actually send this into the chat if anyone wants it. It's good for I think for trading forex. I don't know. Some people have daily percentages, but I think, you know, with that probably weekly or monthly is sort of the way to go. But anyway, for HFX, a daily percentage is really good. So this is sort of on what is it, Friday? That if you started on Friday with $500 by 6th of February, you know, you'd be up to 88 grand if you just follow 5% a day. So at the start, $25, $26, $28, it feels really small. And this is where I messed up at the start too. I came into this and I was like, oh yeah, it's so easy, minute money, like let's do it. And then, you know, I got up a few hundred, and then I got cocky, you know, and then I did something silly and I just blew it all. You know what I mean? So that's where it really is like, you got to be careful. It is a different beast, you know, the emotions and everything, they really do come into play here. But if you just focus on your small percentage gains every day, they really build up from $25 a day. And then all of a sudden you're making 500 a day just by making 5%, like a few months later, if you manage to stick to it. So yeah, that's really important. And I didn't even get to show you pickpocket. But anyway, I will pass it on to Steph, who is going to go over the hourglass. How do I do this?
You want to make me host, Michael, or Ivy? Someone?
Can I do that?
Yeah. I think click the.
Oh, there you are now.
Yeah, you got it. Cool. All right.
Thanks for your time, guys. I was a little bit nervous on that.
Thanks, Mikey. You killed that.
Because I'm very new. I'm only a month into this, but like like Leon says, put yourself out there and share what you know, and you might be able to help someone or get someone interested. So there it is. But obviously, if anyone ever wants to message me about anything about it, then like feel free. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, Michael. Appreciate that.
All right, can everyone see my screen? We good?
Yep.
All right, so this is, as I was saying earlier, this is Cash Trap. This is Hourglass, actually, sorry, the scanner. It does have two strategies. I'm not familiar with the Blue Gator one, so I'm not going to go over that today. I'll just stick with Cash Trap. So it's all analyzed on the 5-minute chart, and on the right-hand side over here, every 5 minutes it'll come out with new trades. It'll come out with the time as well, just over here. So you can just have a look at that every 5 minutes. So pretty much there's two ways to use Cash Trap. One of them is super simple. So every 5 minutes, a little arrow like this is going to come out, and it's either going to be pointing up or pointing down. And you can literally just take the arrows with this strategy. You don't need to analyze anything. You can just hit call or hit put or high or low, whatever. I think the accuracy rate is can be anywhere from 60% plus. Like I did 72% on Friday, which was NFP for one, which was pretty impressive. Just using the arrows, no analyzing, no nothing. So I'll go into high, low, and I'll just chuck I'll wait 1 minute till a new candle comes out and you can have a look. So this is just a demo as well. So this is all from Matthew Thayer. This is his strategy or his scanner. So he does everything on the 3-minute chart, no more, no less. You can, on other brokers, you have the option to do a rollover, which pretty much means, so just say you've selected a 3-minute trade, and then within that time, you haven't, it hasn't quite reached, either high or low, whatever you selected, you can choose a rollover option. So you actually reinvest, I think it's 30% more of your original investment, and it gives you a time extension. So we don't have that option on here, which makes it a little bit difficult. That's another setback with this Australian broker. But as a substitute for that, you can then go onto the 1-minute chart I've found, and just say you're 2 minutes into your 3-minute trade and you don't think it's going to have enough time, or you're 2.5 minutes, whatever. You can place a 1-minute trade and you still get that, your investment. You might just break even in that instance, unless you place multiple 1 minutes or that sort of thing. But that just comes with more risk, obviously. So you've got to be wary of that in terms of risk management. So I'll just refresh over here because we're at a new 5-minute, and we'll see what comes out. So we've got USD, JPY, we've got a down arrow. So, hang on one sec. All right, so we'll just go over here. We'll go on to the 3-minute USD, JPY, and we will just chuck on a down arrow, and we'll see what happens in 3 minutes. So that's one way to use it. The other way to use it is very similar to the simple scalper in the terms of looking at the stochastic and the RSI. So pretty much it works on a point system with Cash Trap. So you want to have a minimum of 3 points at all times. And how you get the points is one arrow, whether it be up or down, equals to 3 points. 0.5 or half a point will require either, so just say we've got a down arrow, so that's 3 points. Then we'll be looking for a cross down on the stochastic, that's another half point, so you'd have 3.5 points. And then another cross down on the RSI, so that would make it 4 points. So pretty much a minimum of 3 points, that's so just an arrow. A good trade is going to be a 4-point trade. So you've got either the cross down or the cross up going with your arrows. The next confirmation or point that you can get is from something called a currency strength meter. So it just basically tells you the strength of each currency. When this loads. All right, cool. So for instance, just say we were going to be trading Euro USD. In this instance, the Euro is a lot weaker than the US dollar. So pretty much when you're looking at the pairs, if the first pair, first currency pair is stronger, you want to be looking for a call or to buy or high, whatever. If the second currency pair is stronger, you want to be looking for a put or a sell. So we'll check back on this one. Still got a minute, not looking good at the moment, but that's all right. So yeah, pretty much with the currency strength meter, yeah. So the first currency pair, if that's stronger, you want to be looking for buys. If the second currency pair is stronger, you want to be looking for sells. So that's pretty much the point system. So that just counts as another point. So another point that I personally, just another little indicator, again with the Bollinger Bands. So if it's down here on these green ones, and you're looking and you get an up arrow, that's just a good indication that the market's going to go up because it's rejecting off this sort of support. And then the same thing up here, this acts as a resistance. So you can see like over here, when price was up there, it's rejected off and pushed back down. So I'll grab a good example like Michael did. Yeah, this one will do. So pretty much the same thing here. So we've had, so just say you got a down arrow presented itself on this candle. And then as you can see over here, so we'll put a line there and do one there. And there, so just say we got the down arrow when the next 5 minutes came out. And then we look over here, we're at, so that's 3 points. We look over here, we're at our red Bollinger Band, so that's looking good. That's just another confirmation. Another half a point over here because it's crossed down. So we're at 3.5 points, and then another cross down over here. So that's a 4-point trade. And if it so happened that JPY was stronger than the US dollar, then we'll be looking at a 5-point trade, which is pretty much every single confirmation that you can get. So we didn't clear that one. So that's all that happens with that. It says that you didn't clear, you lose that money. So you just lose your initial investment, nothing more, nothing less. And then, yeah, just every 5 minutes, just refresh and on to the next one. That's pretty much it, I think. If you guys have got any questions, or Ivy, Michael, you guys want to chime in? Did I cover everything?
Are there other brokers that we can use in Australia, or is it just that one?
I have searched to the ends of the earth for a regulated Australian broker. This is the only one that I've been able to find. We can access all of the other US brokers and the offshore brokers, but I think in terms of like safety, obviously for our capital and investment, and in terms of like not getting stung on the transaction fees and that sort of thing, it's easier to use those if you have Bitcoin. Which is still, that's just as easy to buy. You can just set up a Bitcoin wallet and then just transfer it like that. Yeah, it's just easier to deposit and withdraw through Bitcoin because I think by the time you do your international transaction fee and then the credit card fee and all that sort of stuff, it just makes it a bit hard. So yeah, this is the only regulated Australian one I can find. Yeah, I don't really know how sort of offshore brokers work in terms of like Australia's laws. Like I know in other countries, they're not as strict as us. So it's kind of a good thing that we are so strict because obviously we know our money's safe, but it sort of holds us back in the other, in terms of, yeah, like not having rollover. Also within Cash Trap, I can only trade 3 pairs, which is USD, JPY, Euro JPY, and Euro USD, because you can't do 3-minute 3-minute trades with the other two pairs, which are EuroCAD and USD CAD. So there's some sort of setbacks, but you know, you work around it. But yeah, we can still access other brokers. It just depends what you're comfortable with.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess, like you said, it just comes down to the fees that you want to pay as well.
Yeah, that too. Because obviously, when we transfer into Bitcoin, I think by the time it comes back to us, if it's USD to Bitcoin or Bitcoin to USD to AUD, I think we'll end up getting paid more anyway.
Gotcha.
Like our dollar's a lot better, but I'm not 100% sure
Yeah, cool.
on that one.
There is one positive. If you go with different brokers, which I forgot to go over, is a thing called rollover, which high low doesn't actually offer rollover. But basically, if you've put on like a 3-minute call or a put, and it looks like, you know, it's getting to about, you know, just over a minute, and it's not actually going to close in profit, but you still think it's going to go in that direction and you wanted to give yourself extra time, then you can roll over the trade, which involves putting, I think maybe it's an extra, you have to pay maybe an extra 30%, I think something like that, of your order size. And then it'll actually just double that time. So it's like just gives you, so it'll turn your 3 minutes into 6 minutes, or your 2 minutes into 4 minutes, that sort of thing. So sometimes, especially with the educators, they actually use rollover a good few times. Actually, I've seen them use it. So that's where it can be handy. Whereas, you know, if you got high low, then you got to be a bit more sure on what you're doing. But you know, everything is simple. Like there's, you know, the indicators, the tools, like everything's right there to sort of use, and it is simple in that respect, as long as you just stick to those confirmations and only place a call, place a put when you have all those confirmations. Because at the start, when I started, I was trying to, like, maybe, you know, Steph can agree with me, trying to almost make setups, you know, just trying to like find the confirmations and go, yeah, that's good, you know what I mean? And that's just pushing it. But if you don't push it, you just come in, you have a look, you have a look at your web sling or your cash trap, or I don't know if you want to use different ones or just one. And if the setup isn't there, then just leave it, because when the setup is there, as you can probably see, like we haven't gone over too many examples, but it really goes in the right direction. Like those confirmations like do really work, especially on the cash trap one. Just using the arrow, you can get 50% like win rate sort of thing, but obviously 50% is not quite good enough. But if you're using those confirmations and that point system, then it can be 70-80% sort of win rate if you use it properly. So yeah.
Any more questions? We all good?
I love the web slinger. It looks super complicated. But I that's what I use and I prefer, because basically if it finishes underneath all the webs, you put a put for the sell. And then if it finishes above all the webs, you put a, what's it called? A high? Is it a high?
Cool.
A call for a buy. And like Nez was saying, it looks like the most complicated thing, but realistically, it's probably one of the most effective. And even this one, the hourglass as well, is just very simple arrows, and it just tells you when to buy, when to sell. And just remember as well, legends, this is a completely different beast. So what you've absorbed from Forex, it is the kind of same concept when it comes to compounding and just understanding, you know, your emotions. But when it comes to strategies, like what you've been learning when it comes to indicators and stuff, like this is a completely different beast, and you will have to utilize indicators on this in order for you to get multiple confirmations for a buy and for a sell, or for a put. I'll have to get used to the terminology of and sell, and you know, and that's why I'm saying, like, sometimes you have to unwind to wind, and definitely with this is one of them things. But great, cool guys. You know, shame about the connection, but the information was there, and it was very valuable to anybody that was on this call. And it just shows, man, for anybody that is looking for that minute money and that instant gratification when it comes to trading, this will be the thing that you want to dive headfirst in, because it will make you quick money. And I think
Did
that's
you
what
want-
everyone is literally looking for.
Did you want to go over Blue Gator, Steph? I know we both haven't used it. But that's Blue.
Yeah, I'll quickly like touch on it. I haven't used it before. I don't even think I've looked at it, to be honest. But let's
They say it's like the swing trading version of HFX, so it's meant for like
Yeah.
1 hour, 4 hour.
So personally, I wouldn't even bother swing trading with HFX. Like that's the opposite of the reason that I would use it. But obviously, it can be good, and there's people out there that they really enjoy it. I'm pretty sure it's kind of similar to the web slinger in terms of once prices cross down. I think this is called like the river or the lake or something they called it. That's why it's called Blue Gator. This big weird bendy thing here, it's a super trend, I believe, and it'll give you arrow indications like here and here. And I'm pretty sure if the prices cross through the super trend, the Bollinger Band, and the river, then you look for sells. And then same thing on the other side, looking for buys or calls, I should say. I'm pretty sure that's the basis of it. Do you know any more, Michael? Or
Yeah, the blue line is like the fast moving average, and the other two that are sort of near it are like a slow and medium moving average. And you're wanting to for the fast moving average to cross through the other moving averages. And then, like you said, also when the candles come out from the river, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And it's called the Keltner channel strategy. It's like an indicator of the Keltner channel, however you say that anyway. So yeah, it's pretty simple, and it's actually, you can see the arrows there. But so basically, yeah, if it the blue line crosses over, goes under the channel, and then also it's under the super trend, or above the super trend, then should be sort of good to go. So that's what I mean. It's very simple. If you're on at the right time and you get the right, you get there at the right moment, then there's a very high probability of getting it. But don't push it. If the setup's not there, if you don't get the arrow, if it's one of your confirmations is missing or two is missing, then maybe don't take it, because that could be minute money gone. And the one I tried to show you, which wasn't loading, which actually didn't load today, so I don't actually know if that's the internet's problem. It might just be an app problem, or but that's Pickpocket, and that's a similar idea again, just with being above or below certain lines, and also they give you little arrows when there's like a trade idea.
I'll see if it loads on here, Michael.
Yeah, cool. Could just be my internet, which I should talk to my missus and get a new one. New company.
Yeah, my Pickpocket don't load either.
Yeah, must be down.
They're usually pretty good, but occasionally, the last couple of weeks, I've had just a couple of issues. I think maybe updating or, but usually it's pretty accessible. And at one time, everything slowed down a lot because there was too many people on during the live trading during the day. But they're pretty good.
One other thing I was going to say is that you can also put the web slinger as like an indicator on your actual trading view. I find that it just matches up a little bit better in terms of the broker numbers to the trading view numbers rather than the scanner. So if you did want to have a look at the web slinger without having the add-on, I'll show you how to put it on. So you just go into this little button over here with the F, the X thing. We'll have all your indicators. I've got mine saved, but you pretty much just type in web slinger in this little search bar, and it'll come up. And yeah, that's it. It's just the same thing. So yeah, just to get it, if you want to have a play around, I guess, and because you can get the demo on high low, and just have a play around with that. Obviously, you still need to learn the strategies and that sort of thing. But it's just, yeah, good to get a bit of an idea on how it works.
Thank you.
Thank you, legends.
Awesome call, guys. Thanks.
It's crazy because if you kind of, you know, understand the concepts of trading, like everything else is kind of easy to kind of pick up. So it's just like you can learn a strategy within a week, you know, if you really put your head down and really knuckle down, you can really utilize and, you know, use one of the strategies and become a profitable, you know, high frequency trader. And that's the beauty of it, guys. It just comes down to, you know, really digging deep and understanding the concepts. But the money that could be made through this stuff is absolutely ridiculous, and it's minute money. Like some of the educators that you see when they're trading and what they make within minutes, it's mad. It's absolutely wild. And when me and Ivy was sat on a call watching Nez and just some of the stuff that he was just dropping and just putting down, it was like, wow, these guys are good. And it's crazy because Michael was telling me a story about, I think it's Matthew. Matt is, yeah, Matt.
Now.
Matt was viewing his, you know, trading, and he was placing a trade, but it uncovered his account, and it had like something like 2.5 million live 2.5 million like
1.9
guys. There is, I don't care who you're watching out there is no one making this sort of money apart from the HFX people. I don't care who you watch. Seriously, these HFX people, if you like money, all right, that's the place to be. Like, if you, everyone loves money, right? That's why we're doing this. Like, if you want to make some serious bread, I don't care what style of trading you're trading, go and dig deep into that HFX and make that moolah. Is ridiculous. Like Matthew made 2.5 mil within the space of like 2.5 years, guys. Like, there's no traders that do that. Like, unless you're over leveraging like a maniac.
Oh, you have some massive capital.
Yeah, there you go. So, you know what I mean? Like,
his average was I think he said it quite a few times. I think it was 2.3% over 341 sessions. I think that's what he said. But that's what I mean about compounding. It's like you think, oh, 2.3%, like that's not much at all. But then over like almost 2 years, he trades 4 days a week. And he said on one of his calls, for the last 2 years, he's only traded 1 hour a day, 4 days a week. And that's all
1 hour a day. 1 hour a day.
So that's what I mean. Time frame, like right now, I'm sure the same as Steph and same as Ivy. I'm aiming for my little percentage of what I want, which is I'm just that 5% template I showed you, and then I still have time to actually go and look at my forex, you know, and like trade Leon style and learn trade outs, and I've got time for everything. Like, you know what I mean? So it's
do you know what really is mind-boggling? I think it's because a lot of people are really closed minds that they don't, once they learn something, they don't like to venture. I'm a guy that I'm hands deep in anything that you can get my hands on. Like I'm about venturing, right? Like if you can make me some bread and you can show me that it works, I'm venturing. Like I'm not that naive and egotistic to say I only have the own strategy that works. Like, yo, if you show me something that works, I'm digging deep into that. Let me dig and hands right. That's why HFX really, really appealed to my eyes. And as soon as Ivy mentioned it to me about Brandon Boyd's little group chat, I was like, oh, I've seen a lot of people killing it. And it's like, they've just come into the game. And it's just like, I've been trading for 4 years. If I would have just done this for, 5-6 months, oh, God, Jesus, I don't even know where I would be right now. The whole squad will be, in Barbados right now, just feasting, making minute money and trading like 1 hour sessions. And that's our week done. It's just, it's crazy, man. It's a different beast. So definitely venture and definitely have an open mind and definitely be willing to learn a new skill set. And it will take you a long way. Well, not probably, but it definitely will. 100%. So
that's the other thing, guys. Like the money that you can make in this, like it's almost like it doesn't seem real. Like on Friday, Matthew Thayer in about 7 minutes. He made $85,000 like live in front of my face, and he didn't even mean to. He put on a couple 1-minute trades, and he was like, "Oh shit!" Like that cleared. Like did not even mean to. He was like, "Oh shit!" He was just like, "Oh, I just made 17,000, 17,000, 17,000." I did the math, 85 grand in about 7 minutes. I couldn't. Like my head exploded. Like this money is like it's crazy. It's like crazy.
I've been doing all my life.
Unreal. Unreal.
What have I been doing? What have I been doing? I've been in the wrong game.
It's the wrong game.
I've been educating in the wrong field here. Oh my God.
Unreal. Unreal.
Oh.
I think also like even all the Americans, that's all they do. Because if you look at, like I was looking at JB's girlfriend, she teaches all on HFX, and you look at why they're all killing it.
I
Because
see.
of course they put their teams in, people make money instantly, and like
But
relief goes next level. You don't have to tell someone that they have to do this for 6 months and be patient. Even 6 months is a short time. You know, tell people to do 12 months. They can't even do 1 month. They want to quit on themselves. You
it's
know?
crazy because I see it on Instagram, and my boy Abel as well, the video photographer. He has a big squad out in Florida, and his whole squad just sit around for like 10 minutes, make their bread, and then chat business. It's just like, it is absolutely phenomenal. And I see it, it's a massive culture, and it's just like everybody winning within minutes. And it's definitely something that I would love to implement. And I love guys, Michael, Steph, Ivy, I love what you're doing out here and really making this a new skill set. I'm really sharing it with the squad as well, because I really think that you guys are really going to take this next level, and you are going to feed a lot of us. So I really do appreciate your work ethic and really venturing into this field, and sharing your words of wisdom as well. So I really do appreciate that, guys. And I'll definitely be sitting around your table very, very soon. So I appreciate it.
Thank you.
How much does the package cost for add-on?
49 or 70 AUD, which is
Oh,
around
sweet.
49 US.
Unless you get your 2 and 3?
What?
So you can get so you can do it's the same as the FRX package. So you can just get the HFX package. It costs the same, $174.95, or you can just do a $49.95. This is in US. Add on to your FRX package, and then you have to get, so Liberty comes free with the HFX package and add-on, but Cash Trap you have to buy as an add-on. So it's $22 or something. Yeah. So you can just get the HFX package if you want to just upgrade to that.
Is there a certain time or session that is better to go and trade? Just whenever.
All of the educators, they trade Oz time from like 11 a.m. until I think they finish at 2 p.m. But I've pretty much found like every time is kind of okay. So they trade during Asian session, which is quite like, that's a bit weird for the market to
Some will do early though, Steph. I think Ivan Cabral does in the morning, Millie does their daytime.
Yeah.
So I think there's no specific time, to be honest. You just have to find what works for you.
Yeah.
I think
And
I've actually traded different sessions and seen what works for us, really.
Just try and find 1 minute in your day and you'll be right.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. 1 minute in your life.
Bro, all you have to do is wait for the price to finish above price within 1 minute, and you're in your bag. If you're in a sell, price finishes below that, you're in the bag. Like
In the bag.
if you can find a perfect opportunity, guys, you trade house, you have the ability to get in at perfect entries. What you make in 1 week, you can make in 1 minute through HFX off your entries.
If you have the capital.
If you have the capital, obviously, that's the whole point of you building to get that. But just imagine with $1 million account, what your minute money will look like, and it's ridiculous. And it's about getting there. That's the whole part of the journey, is loving the process of the compound. And like Michael was saying, 2.5% growth. you know, on a day-to-day basis for 2.5 years. Now he's sitting at what, like 3 mil, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, man, you know, it's crazy.
I think Ross just asked, is it worth to switch to HFX? Personally, I wouldn't say switch. I would say get into the education first, because don't get excited. I mean, we all got excited, and don't just, you know, transfer your whole account. Start with Brandon Boyd. They give free value that you actually can access that with your Go Live that you have right now. And then from there, you can actually, so his sessions are 1 p.m. American time, so which is like our 2 a.m. UK time will be a good time. So I think it will be evening your time. You can actually jump on those sessions. And then from there, once you kind of love it, I think get the add-on first. Personally, get the add-on, because switching your whole account, it means that you can't access other educators that you're watching. So don't just get too excited. Don't go in blindly, because like I said, it's a different beast. And even Leon said, and everybody, all of us have experienced it. You get excited, but then you can have five trade losses in one go. And if you're risking $10, that's 50 bucks gone. If you have $100 account, your half account is gone. So you need to actually get your emotions right. So just don't get excited of the money. Yes, the money is there, no doubt. But if your emotions are not right, I swear to God, you will not continue, because the loss is actually bigger in comparison to Forex. I mean, you can actually minimize if you're using an offshore broker. If you're in Australia, you're kind of screwed, because you have to just risk the $10. You have no option. So I would say pace yourself, get into it, practice with the demo, see if you like it. And then from there, you know, you still have time, you know, just pace yourself. It's a journey. And yeah, and like Brandon Boyd, they break it down so well, so well. And you can then see if you like it, and then you can just pay $49 for the extra, and then eventually switch your whole account if you want to go all in with it. And don't undervalue the education. A lot of people come in and think it's easy and don't go through the course. The course is crucial. Like there's a whole academy on HFX, which is very similar to Forex though. A lot of it, I've actually gone through most of it. You know, the indicators is what you kind of need to go into in depth. But the educators have, like Nez has recorded sessions. He used to do a live training session over it. Now he's not, but there's a lot of recorded sessions that you can just go over that is repetition. There's just, you know, value over value. And then Matt does a Sunday set, which is our Monday, a Monday session that goes over the session. So yeah.
I just had someone message me about it as I posted that story, and they reckon that they can't find anything about HFX other than stuff to do with IM. So huh? They reckon there's not many people out there educating on HFX besides inside IM.
Oh, really?
That's what my mate reckons. So if you guys start running this up, you know, we're gonna be some of the first people to start making some serious bread from this, because
wow,
I've had a few people reach out. I'm not sure. I've had a few people reach out and say that they can't find a lot of education online for HFX. Besides, obviously, YouTube, which, if you know, education isn't free, and anything free isn't really going to get you anywhere fast.
There is, sorry, Andy, I know there is, because we call it HFX because it's high frequency, but it is binary options. There might be, there might be a bit more out there for that, but I don't think there's nothing out here like.
He does know that, because we've talked about it before, but he's just saying I couldn't find much out there, like in terms of courses and stuff.
Yeah, there's no better place than I am. Seriously.
No, there's a lot of academies teaching FX now, but obviously none of them are anywhere near.
It's the new wave. You gotta understand, it's instant gratification. Like, everyone's looking for, you know, how long's a video clip on Instagram now? Like, everyone's looking for a 15-second dopamine fix. You know what I mean? And it's the same with money now. Everyone's looking for, all right, cool, like anything that's quick and fast, I'm in the game. And that's what this really is. And who's that? Del Woods? He's an HFX educator, right?
He's a chairman
25.
Chairman 25, and he just started trading and turned into an educator.
I think he's been trading a while, though. I think he's been trading. He says that he's been trading a while, Steph.
Okay, cool.
He became an educator.
All right, cool. So how long has he been an educator for?
Oh, very new.
3 minutes.
Like 2 weeks, and he was already on the front page.
What I'm about to say, 2 weeks as an educator is one of the top most viewed educators.
Exactly.
30,000.
That tells you something.
That tells you a lot.
Yeah. Get on the session. You'll all understand why he's number one.
Before this, I watched one of his videos and I was like, ooh, this is getting me excited. I'm going to make some serious money with this guy. He don't even know me and he's going to make me some serious bank. Like, I like that. I need money for once. I want that. Yeah, let's get it.
I actually saw even Christopher Terry. I think he's really into it as well, because there was a video that what's his name, Nez and Matt were all together with Chris on a screen. So obviously I think it's something that they're really going all in with. So
yeah, Chris Terry jumped on Matthew Thayer's live, like he was next to him, and he jumped on and sent a little message to everyone. It was sick. Crazy.
Man, guys, I'm excited, man. Like I couldn't really be more excited in my whole entire life, really. It's crazy. It's crazy the platform that we've got, the education that we got. I don't really think people understand unless they dig deep into